Yo, it's your boy Casual with the Silent A podcast. And man, we're back with another one and a quick one at that. Hit that like, comment below, subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. And for this, let's get straight into it because if you read the title, you already know it's how can Canelo Alvarez pick apart the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford? And before we go any further, we tell everybody this. This is just a keys to victory. It's not a prediction, just a way that these two fighters can win their fights. We do it for Terrence Bud Crawford. Check out those videos. And then for this one, it's Canelo Alvarez. If you dug a little bit deeper, you saw that we're talking about in this case, it's all about the hook and ring management. The hook and ring management. And yes, we chose the word pick apart. We did one for Terrence Bud Crawford. We chose the word pick apart because we believe this is one of the keys to victory, if not two, that can make the fight easy for Canelo Alvarez. Again, we did one for Terrence Bud Crawford for my guys going to be out there that were fanboying and picking left and right. We're in the middle of this thing. We're doing it for both fighters because honestly, that's how good this fight is going to be. But let's get into it. The hook. The hook will set up everything for Canelo Alvarez to begin to pick apart the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford. Why we say the hook? Because Terrence is going to be moving. He is not going to stay in the pocket. He is going to use his feet, use that footwork, not running, but using it smartly to get his offense off. The way that you can stop movement is obviously the jab, but I'm going to focus on the hook in this case because I believe Terrence is going to circle and turn certain angles. And fortunately enough for the likes of Canelo Alvarez, he has a bad left hook and a badass right hook. Those hooks can stop that circling movement as long as you do what we said in the second part, and that's ring management, meaning knowing how to cut off the ring and put Terrence where you want him to be. Predict his movements. Begin to predict where he's going to be at in that ring. Move. Cut off the ring. It's not just simply cut off. Everybody talks about, oh, you got to cut off the ring. You got to cut off the ring. It's more than just cutting off the ring because sometimes cutting off the ring also means you have to have speed, good footwork. That is not Canelo Alvarez. He has good footwork. He does not have good foot speed. We all know this. He moves slow. But even with your slow movement, you can still predict where the fighter is going to be. And I think Canelo Alvarez has that type of ring IQ to start predicting where the fighter is going to be, especially with the ring corner he has. They're going to coach him into that, right? You can start to predict the movement, see where Terrence Bud Crawford is going, understand the patterns. You're going to lose the first couple of rounds, but once you understand how he's moving, then you start positioning. It's called chess, positioning yourself a little bit differently, move a certain way. You're not going to catch him because you're not that fast, Canelo. We already know that. But once you start managing that ring, managing where you want where you want Terrence Bud Crawford to go, then that hook feeds into that because then you can hook him off or even feint that you're going to hook to make him move another way. Then you land with the hook to stop that movement. In particular, hook to the body. Do not headhunt in this fight because I think the upper movement of Terrence Bud Crawford is too quick to get hit flush with headshots, especially early. Hook to the body to slow down that quicker fighter. Hook to the body to start breaking down that smaller fighter in the eyes of the public anyways. Because we hit on something earlier. Yeah, the bigger man usually can beat the, good little man moving up or great little man moving up, as they say. But in this case, this is not the same scenario. The only area that Canelo is bigger than Terrence Bud Crawford is strictly weight. That analogy that people like to use, that characteristic, the big man beats the small little man, is tied around you're actually bigger, meaning height, reach, and weight. That's usually the case in a lot of these where these fighters who want to challenge themselves, like Terrence, jump up in multiple weight divisions and so forth, and they are at a height disadvantage usually, reach disadvantage in some cases at least, and definitely in the weight. The weight is given, right? That's why you're moving up in weight. But on top of that, it's with the height and the reach. But in this case, Terrence has the actual height and reach advantage against the likes of Canelo Alvarez. So the bigger portion is Canelo actually just being more thick, dense, weighs a little bit more, naturally been at that size, obviously. So what you're going to have to do is break down this quote unquote smaller man in stature of weight, but he's already got the reach advantage. He's already got that height advantage on you. So you're going to have to hook him and hook him smart and start breaking him down. It's not going to be as easy as many of us thought. You're technically same stature, same weight class at this point. Obviously, you're going to both weigh in at 168, but you're going to make him feel 168 power. He hasn't been there yet. But to set all that up, obviously, you got to manage that ring, manage that flow, manage and predict where you want Terrence Bud Crawford to be. If you can't do that, then it's a long night for Canelo Alvarez. But if you master that well, starting with the management of the ring, management and predicting where you want Terrence Bud Crawford to go, combine that with the hook to slow him down, slow that faster fighter down, that slicker fighter down, that more precise fighter down, then you've got easy work ahead of you. He will stop moving and circling in certain ways. And then when we talk about going toe for toe, blow for blow, now that's where that denseness sets in. That heavier, stockier frame of Canelo Alvarez takes advantage because now he's no longer a strong and fast moving target. Now he's within reach, and that makes easy work, especially later in the fight, for the likes of Canelo Alvarez. How does he pick apart the likes of Terrence Bud Crawford? And there's no disrespect to Terrence Bud Crawford. Again, this is just a keys to victory. This fight is not going to be easy. This fight is going to be 50-50, 60-40, you name it. It's going to be a good scrap between two guys with high ring IQ, with two different sets of attributes that can win them this fight. That's why we're doing these keys to victory. But if you master that, slow him down with that hook by capitalizing on your ring management and predicting where Crawford's going to go, you can make this fight easy towards the end, pick him apart, and win this fight, clear unanimous decision victory. I don't think you're knocking out Terrence, but this is boxing. You do have the power to connect and knock him out or stop him. I just see it as it's going to go all the way for both fighters. I think it's going to be a good fight. Both of these men are at the highest levels in boxing. Both of these men will be future Hall of Famers. And I think when you put these type of fights together, these type of men, I think we're going to see an entertaining fight that goes all the way. Terrence might hit the floor. I don't see Canelo getting dropped, period. But you're going to see some magic that night. But you can make it easy work and pick him apart with ring management, and then building on that hook, breaking him down, slowing him down, and eventually may be able to break the will of Crawford late in that fight. Again, this is not a prediction, just the keys to victory. How can Canelo implement his keys to victory, his attributes, the things he's strong at to make this fight a little bit easier for himself? Let us know what you think, man. It's your boy Casual Rep with Sane Podcast. Hit that like button, it's free. Hit that like button, it's free. Comment below and subscribe if you got the time. We appreciate that love. Until the next time. Peace.